Next is our tart recipe. Here's the mise en place for that. That includes the sugar, the butter, the egg, the vanilla. I'm going to go ahead and put this in our mixing bowl. Throw it in our mixer with the paddle option on low. And then afterwards, I have our surface lightly floured as well as our roller pin lightly floured, so I can go ahead and thin it out and throw it in our tart pins. I also have the oven preheating currently, so that way when we are done with all the mixing and everything, we can go immediately into the next step. I'm actually really excited for this recipe, as I've seen this recipe before, as well as my family went on a trip to Puerto Rico one time, and this was a recipe that we ended up loving because we kept seeing it in the local bakeries. Yep. Now we're going to go ahead and throw this to mix, and we'll proceed with our recipe. So I've gone ahead and let it mix until it's becomes smooth. I've also gone ahead and weighed out our flour. So now I'm going to put it back on our low setting and allow it to incorporate slowly the flour, and then that should take us to our dough before we go ahead, roll it out, thin it out, and throw it in our tart pans. Now, before incorporating that flour, I just want to say I went ahead and sifted it out, put it in a new container, and did incorporate it slowly while it became more and more wet, since it had incorporated more and more of the moisture within the dough. It should come out very soon, and then we can go ahead and roll this out and throw it in our pans. In terms of the circular shape, I do not have any cookie cutters. So what I'm doing is I went ahead and took some oil and brushed the tip of the cup. That way I can go ahead and stamp it out and put it in our tart pans. So I went ahead and took out the dough after it was incorporated. I did notice, however, that even after the 4.5 ounces of flour, it did need more. Like the video said, Florida is very humid. Sometimes you need more, sometimes you need less. So I did incorporate a little bit more, and then I also tried to use the flour that we were using to powder the table to also reduce the amount of moisture at least a little bit. I did, however, successfully roll it out, and I was able to form the tarts. So we have these two. The oven's all ready to go. We're going to throw them in, and we will see what we get right after. So next we will be seeing whether or not those go ahead and turn a little bit light brown. It says it takes about 5 minutes. So this is how the tart came out. I think it actually turned out really well. From the coloring to even the crust and everything's a little golden brown. I went ahead and made a little pattern on the outside from the kiwi, strawberry, and then the blueberries. Even the actual like cream from the pastry cream turned out really well. It was pretty smooth, and it looks like it's going to be a really yummy like tart. So that's terrific.